My life is a rather simple one. I sit in front of my computer most of the days and usually order when I'm hungry. I'll, I go out only when I feel absolutely need. I don't boast of many friends, and the only living member of my family is an estranged sister I haven't spoken to in at least 7 years. A fling here, a fling there, but I am single. This is how I can identify a lonely person even from a distance without knowing much about them. I am one. And then one day, for no particular reason, I started noticing him. It began one morning when I was sipping coffee and just loitering about my living room window, assessing the day as I examined the road below. It was a lovely morning, the kind that energizes you and fills you with hope and happiness for no particular reason. There was a light yet intoxicating scent in the air. The sunlight felt warm, safe cocoon, like a warm, safe cocoon, and I was just glad to be. That's when I spotted another figure standing in front of the cafe on the opposite end of the room. He was highlighted in a spot of warm sunlight, his face turned up, his eyes I felt an instant connection to this person. I felt as if a bridge had built itself between my eyelids. From that day on, every morning I would stand at my window at the same time expecting to see him. He never failed me. He was always there. He never looked up at my window. He never acknowledged me. You could almost believe he did not know I was there, except I felt he knew. Every day we met, him outside the cafe, his face turned up towards the sun, his eyes closed, and me up in my living room window, a coffee mug in hand, watching him. I began to feel like we had just shared coffee together, like we had a silent conversation over our drinks, which was far more powerful than words. Then one day, some 2 months later into our quote unquote relationship, I saw I saw him in a completely different mood. He rushed out of the cafe, frantic, looking this and that, raking his hair with his fingers as if trying to locate someone he had lost sight of, as if trying to understand something. He soon left after. That sight put me off balance. I was so used to seeing the calm side of him. It had become imperative to my balmy mornings. That day I felt agitated, as if his agitation had crossed the bridge, existed between us, and taken over my being. I could not work. I could not sleep. I could hardly sit still. That afternoon, as I sat in front of my TV, shuffling through channels, not really watching anything, I heard a terrible screech and a crash from the road below, and sirens followed soon after. It was an accident. They sometimes happen on this road. I had been a witness to two in my time here. They were unfortunate, but they usually don't rattle me much. However, that day, my already anxious mind felt as if it had been jolted out of its place. It was one of those days. I saw in the news the next day that a little girl had died while her father had sustained minor injuries. My friend did not visit the cafe for the next few days. I resumed my routine soon enough. The memories of that day vanished quickly. In a week, my friend and I got back to our meetings. He was calm again. He looked almost happy, and I was content to see that. Almost 3 weeks must have passed by without an incident. Then one morning, he once again rushed out of the cafe in a panic, looking left and right, running his fingers through his hair. This time he did not leave. He did something he had never done before. He looked up at my window and saw me. For the first time, he looked right at me for a long, long I felt frozen to the spot. Then the next day, I decided that I should go downstairs and meet him. The next day, I dressed and went to the cafe, expecting to see him. I spotted him in a corner. He looked up and saw me, and I took the seat opposite of him as if he had done the whole time. "How are you today?" I asked. "Better," he said. "What happened?" "He came to show me again." "Who came? And who showed you what?" "You would not believe," he said, shaking his head from side to side. "I wouldn't?" I asked him incredulously, thinking of how we became friends. He considered it for a moment. "Well, maybe you would," he conceded, and then he told me, "There is a man. He comes to see me sometimes. He's a tall man, wears a cap with a rather long visor. It almost obliterates his features in the shadow, but his eyes. You could not miss his eyes even if you wanted to. The whites are so yellow they are almost fluorescent. You would imagine he has jaundice or something. He trailed off, looking over the glass outside. And what does he show you? People, he said after some time. There was a pause while he sipped his coffee and I waited for more. He shows me people. I nodded, although I wasn't sure I understood yet. Remember that accident where the little girl died and her father was hospitalized? I nodded. I did remember. I also remembered he had been very agitated that morning when he left the cafe. Yellow eyes. That's what I call the man. He showed me something that morning. What? I was beginning to get impatient. I saw him walking around with a child in a pink skirt. Such an innocent face. She was giggling at something he said. Her hair was bouncing on her shoulders as she skipped along. And then that afternoon she was dead. I felt numb. Was he suggesting he had prior knowledge of the events? And now I am not sure. Now, I am not someone who shuns the idea, but even to me it's too much. I try to rationalize it. I saw you were in a panic yesterday too. Did you see the man again? I asked, opening an inquiry. I did. And did he show you something or someone? He did. He pointed at someone. And did something bad happen to him? No, not yet. Well, there you have it. Maybe the man isn't right about everything after all, I smiled. Maybe, he said, but did not smile. Alright, you're not convinced. Let me try again. Alright, you're not convinced. Let me try again. Tell me, who did he point at? He paused, considered me intently, and went on. You, he said. My mouth fluttered open and shut as if I was gasping for air like a fish around the water. He pointed at you. I rushed out to see where he had vanished off to and what he was pointing at. I could not locate him, but I saw you, standing in the window with a mug in your hand. I see. That was all I could manage just then. And even through this entire pre-motion thing sounded like nonsense, I could not shake the feeling off of dread. He reached for my hand and held it for one long moment, giving me strength. I held it tight, not knowing why. All I am saying is, please be careful, he said. Of what? I asked. I don't know. He sighed and shook his head. I went back home after that, and for no reason I was extra careful about everything. I checked the gas knobs, never used my hairdryer in the bathroom, fearing an electrical shock. Started cooking my own meals, at least I had caught an infection from restaurant food. It was unnerving and exhausting. Also, I let go of my morning routine. I never stood in the window to watch my friend. A whole week passed without incident, and frankly, by this point, the whole idea of me being in danger was beginning to feel rather silly. I began to relax more with each passing day. By the end of 2 weeks, I was completely over it. And here I am today, at my window again. It's a lovely morning. The sun is warm and there is a scent on the breeze that lightly ruffles my hair. I inhale deeply. I am glad to be alive and well. I see him walking out of the cafe towards the road, tapping his phone screen. I think he will be glad to see me. Either I am alive and well. Maybe that will ease his hallucination. His fear of the yellow-eyed man. Hey there! I called out to him. He has reached the edge of the road, but is still tapping on his phone. Hello! I call out again. He finally hears me and stops walking. He turns around to look at me. I wave. He waves back. Alive and well, I say. He gives me a thumbs up, and just as he began to turn around to cross the road, just then, I hear a terrible thud. A truck had hit him.